Thank you for joining me today, Ellen. As you know, I'm going to be interviewing you about your career with AT&T.
I'm more than happy to do it, Sally. Please go ahead with your questions.
All right, can you describe one of your typical work days for me?
Absolutely, I'm more than happy to. Generally, first you have to stop at Starbucks because it's a requirement to be happy that day. But then once you get into the office, I fire up the computer. First thing I do is start checking emails and bring up systems. In a day, I have to bring up probably about 5 to 10 systems that I work in consistently throughout the day. I categorize my emails as far as, level of importance, fires that have to be put out immediately versus fires that can wait until the afternoon. I interact with customers, consultants. I do a ton of research because these accounts are pretty complex.
All right, so what skills would you say are required most for your day-to-day business?
Probably the biggest one, which is kind of what I just described, which is going to be multitasking. I definitely have to have time management skills because one of the systems I bring up, of course, is my calendar for the day. Checking to see if somebody's added a meeting to me, if I have any kind of, additional training because they do continue training with us. So I have to check those to make sure that I've got time built into my day. If something does come up, that I handle the most important accounts first. Research is big. Interpersonal skills because I'm dealing with high-end customers. So because I'm dealing with people who have multi-million-dollar companies, you got to have the skill set and communication ability to deal with them as well. Those are probably the skills of the interpersonal skills are the biggest.
What would you say out of those skills is most challenging?
For me, probably time management.
Time management.
Because once I start rolling with something, if I get interrupted, then it takes me a minute to get back to my place of where I was researching, getting it together, and I don't always leave enough time for anything that may come up in the day.
Out of your day-to-day business interactions, what would you say would be the most challenging of those?
And the business interactions, probably speaking with highly irritated high-end customers. Most challenging because 9 times out of 10 they're wrong. And so you're having to gently lead them around to say, show them the facts,
right? Process
them around and gently say no to their, $1,000 request for credit for absolutely no reason. So the most challenging is really delicately taking somebody who you do value them as a customer and you want to make sure they're happy with the service and the service that I give them. So you kind of have to massage them around to what you need to know.
Would you say that communication skills are highly necessary?
Oh, without a doubt.
Right. Is there anything about your job field that you find intriguing or interesting?
The most interesting part for me, because I'm fairly new to this position, is learning the complexity of it. Learning the complexity of, like one of my big accounts is Dallas, Texas 911. I have the police force 911, and the complexity of how those telephones work, how the unit works, the cost of it, the contracts that are involved, the scope of complexity if something falls. If you've got a tech issue or anything that really can impact it, the impact is just enormous. So really the complexity of the accounts is pretty fascinating to me.
Would you say that dealing with these high-end accounts and dealing with the customers becomes too frustrating ever?
Oh, of course it does. Especially like what I mentioned before, when you have somebody that's requesting credit just because. Well, you just don't get, nobody has the luxury of just giving customers credit just because. So when you're having to deal with this person that may not want to look at your point of view, even if your view is right, you have to be delicate and balanced, making sure they're still okay, making sure everything's fine, but letting them know, hey, this is kind of how it goes.
What do you find the most enjoyable throughout your day?